Next, NASA says its Voyager 1 probe, the most distant human-made object in the universe, is sending usable information to Earth again.
I watched the alerts flood in. Scientists frantically calling emergency meetings, satellites reorienting, and telescopes across the globe pivoting toward a mysterious visitor. It's called 3I/Atlas, and no one knows what it truly is. Some say it could rewrite everything we know about space and possibly humanity's place in the cosmos. I remember the moment I first heard about 3I/Atlas. My phone buzzed insistently in the middle of the night. An alert from NASA marked urgent. I rubbed my eyes and stared at the tiny screen, unsure if I was dreaming. But the words didn't lie. An interstellar object coming from beyond our solar system had been detected. And not just detected. Its trajectory was unlike anything astronomers had ever seen. The sky that night was impossibly clear, each star piercing the darkness with cold precision. And somewhere, far beyond the planets we know, 3I/Atlas hurtled toward us, silently carrying the secrets of distant star systems. Scientists say it arrived from the depths of interstellar space, possibly billions of light years away, traveling at an unfathomable speed. For context, even Voyager 1, the fastest human-made object, moves slower in comparison. And here it was, a cosmic messenger, unannounced, heading straight for the heart of our solar system. NASA immediately went into action. Emergency meetings were convened in Houston, with scientists and engineers crowding the Situation Room. Monitors flickered with trajectories, orbital models, and high-resolution telescope images. I imagined the room filled with tension, coffee cups abandoned, fingers tapping at keyboards as if the universe itself was holding its breath. These were the people trained to expect the unexpected, and yet, even they were unsettled. Astronomers across the world were mobilized. The Pan-STARRS Observatory in Hawaii, the same facility that originally discovered 3I/Atlas, was tracking its every move. Across Europe, radio telescopes in the Atacama Desert and the Canary Islands pivoted, scanning the heavens for any signal, any anomaly, any clue. Every new image brought a wave of awe and fear. This wasn't just an asteroid or a comet. Its path was sharp, deliberate, almost intelligent in its precision. I imagined what it must be like for the scientists on the front lines. Their lives are normally filled with routine calculations and expected orbital patterns. But this was chaos. And the chaotic beauty of it was mesmerizing. I could picture Dr. Elena Ramirez, an astrophysicist I'd followed for years, leaning over her console, whispering to herself in disbelief. It's coming faster than we predicted. And it's rotating strangely. Then there were the rockets. Artemis missions preparing for lunar launches had their schedules disrupted. Engineers recalculated trajectories, shifting priorities to ensure satellites and telescopes were ready to monitor 3I/Atlas. Even private space companies were watching, streaming real-time feeds, analyzing light spectra and composition. Everyone wanted a piece of this cosmic puzzle. The first images were haunting. 3I/Atlas was elongated, more cigar-shaped than spherical, reflecting sunlight in ways that defied expectations. It rotated slowly, almost deliberately, casting shadows and glints like a celestial blade slicing through the void. Some speculated it could be an icy fragment. Others whispered it might be artificial, though no one would confirm such theories publicly. Yet every new image only fueled the suspense. I could almost feel the weight of its approach. Our world, small and fragile against the infinite dark, suddenly seemed more vulnerable. What secrets did 3I/Atlas carry? Could it hold clues to alien civilizations? Or was it simply a remnant of a distant star system, hurtling through space by chance? Even as a civilian, I felt the pulse of humanity's collective curiosity and fear. Then came the radio signals. Scientists tuned their instruments to detect any signs of energy emissions. Nothing consistent yet, but anomalies appeared. Bursts of energy, flickers in the cosmic background, strange readings that made even the most seasoned engineers frown. Each beep on a monitor, each fluctuating line on a graph, felt like the heartbeat of a universe suddenly aware of our attention. Watching all this unfold, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, the raw, unfiltered thrill of discovery, tinged with unease. The kind of feeling astronauts describe when leaving Earth's atmosphere for the first time. Awe, fear, and an unshakable sense that the universe is far larger, far stranger, and far less predictable than we ever imagined. 3I/Atlas wasn't just passing through. It was a reminder that space is alive with mysteries, and that for every planet, star, and comet we catalog, there are billions more we have yet to comprehend. By dawn, NASA had issued a public briefing. The world was watching. Journalists gathered at press conferences, live streams buzzed with speculation, and social media erupted with theories. Some said it was a threat. Others called it a miracle. I watched it all, transfixed, knowing that history was being written in real time. And yet, even with all the data, all the images, all the models, no one could predict what 3I/Atlas would do next. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't just science. This was the universe speaking directly to us. And for the first time, I understood why humanity has always looked to the stars, not just to explore, but to confront the unknown, to challenge our fears, and to discover who we are when the cosmos watches back. As the first light of dawn spread across Earth, I found myself glued to live feeds from observatories around the world. 3I/Atlas was no longer just a point of light in the sky. It was a shadow moving through our celestial neighborhood, a silent intruder challenging our understanding of space. Every telescope, from the giant mirrors in Chile to the nimble arrays in Hawaii, was trained on it. But even with all that technology, the object remained enigmatic. NASA scientists began running simulations around the clock. In Houston's mission control became a theater of tension. Multiple screens displayed gravitational models, predicting how the object would interact with planets, moons, and even asteroids. Every calculation had a margin of error so small that a single misstep could throw off predictions by thousands of kilometers. And yet, the models kept showing the same unnerving truth. 3I/Atlas wasn't following the usual rules. Its trajectory was erratic, yet precise, like a needle threading its way through the fabric of the solar system. I imagined being inside those control rooms. The fluorescent lights humming above, engineers leaning on consoles, eyes darting from screen to screen, hearts pounding. Conversations were clipped, technical, yet threaded with an unspoken sense of wonder. This wasn't just a mission anymore. It was an encounter with the unknown, a cosmic rendezvous that could redefine humanity's place in the galaxy. Meanwhile, amateur astronomers were reporting sightings across the globe. A teenager in Norway captured a long streak across the night sky, an eerie silhouette against the aurora borealis. In Australia, a small observatory caught reflections glinting off its surface, almost metallic in appearance. Social media exploded with images and theories, some scientific, some speculative, many downright fantastical. But beneath the noise, the truth remained. We were witnessing something unprecedented. Then came the first spectroscopic analysis. Light emitted and reflected from 3I/Atlas revealed chemical compositions that were alien yet familiar. Ice, rock, and something that hinted at organic compounds. Scientists whispered that it might be a primordial fragment from another star system, a relic of cosmic formation that had drifted across interstellar space for millions, maybe billions of years. The possibility that we were seeing matter older than our sun, matter that had traveled farther than anything we had ever known, sent chills down my spine. NASA began preparing contingency missions. Artemis astronauts were placed on standby, their lunar schedules paused, ready to redirect observations or even attempt a rendezvous if feasible. Engineers discussed deploying robotic probes capable of capturing high-resolution images, analyzing composition, and returning data in real time. I could almost hear their excitement mixed with fear, the kind of tension only the unknown can produce, where discovery and danger are inseparably intertwined. But as 3I/Atlas moved closer, its peculiar behavior became more pronounced. It was tumbling, spinning in ways that didn't match natural rotation patterns. Some scientists speculated that gravitational forces from the sun and planets were tugging at it. Others weren't so sure. The way it reflected light, the way it seemingly adjusted its spin, suggested anomalies that challenged our understanding of physics. I felt a shiver run down my spine. This was no ordinary celestial object. As night fell, I imagined standing beneath the stars, looking up and knowing that something from another star system was passing through our sky. A piece of the cosmos, traveling silently, untouched by human hands, yet capable of triggering global panic. News channels broadcast live updates, NASA streamed telemetry data, and scientists debated the possibilities in real time. Could it be a natural asteroid, a comet, or something else? The mere thought made my pulse quicken. The tension wasn't just scientific, it was emotional. Humanity has always looked to the heavens with curiosity, but 3I/Atlas brought fear as well. What if it carried life, or worse, pathogens from distant worlds? What if it disrupted planetary orbits, colliding with one of our moons, or even Earth? Every new update sent ripples of anxiety across the globe. Yet beneath that fear lay an undeniable awe. We were witnessing a messenger from the stars, a traveler carrying secrets we were desperate to understand. I thought about the astronauts on Artemis missions, training for years to walk on the moon, suddenly diverted to observe a cosmic interloper. I imagined the tension in their suits, the adrenaline as they adjusted instruments, their eyes scanning endless darkness for something that might not even reveal itself clearly. In that moment, the boundaries between science and adventure blurred. Every calculation, every observation, every careful maneuver was a dance on the edge of the unknown. And then, in a quiet moment amidst the chaos, came a revelation. The light curves, graphs showing brightness changes over time, hinted at a hollow structure, or at least something far less uniform than natural formations. Scientists cautioned against jumping to conclusions, yet the data was impossible to ignore. Could this be a remnant of an alien civilization, or simply a cosmic quirk we couldn't yet explain? The line between fact and speculation was razor thin, and every expert had their own theory, none fully satisfying. Watching it all, I felt a strange connection to humanity's first explorers, the ones who looked across oceans, uncertain of what awaited them, guided only by stars and hope. Except this time, the ocean was the infinite darkness of space, and the traveler was a silent visitor from another solar system. I realized we were witnessing history, a moment that would be remembered for centuries, a reminder that the universe is far stranger, far vaster, and far more mysterious than we can comprehend. And yet, as 3I/Atlas approached the inner solar system, one thought haunted me. We were not just observers anymore. The cosmos had sent something directly into our path, something that demanded attention, demanded study, and perhaps demanded courage we didn't yet know we had. Whatever 3I/Atlas truly was, it would change the way we look at the stars forever. By the third day, 3I/Atlas had entered the outer edges of our solar system. Jupiter, the gas giant sentinel, now lay in its projected path, a massive gravitational gate that could bend, accelerate, or even shatter objects that dared approach. Scientists were glued to simulations, modeling every possible outcome with supercomputers that hummed like the heartbeat of the cosmos itself. Every parameter, every variable, every microscopic tilt mattered. One miscalculation, and years of careful observation could be rendered meaningless. I watched as the first high-resolution images arrived from space telescopes in orbit around Earth. 3I/Atlas had grown from a faint streak of light into a tangible, almost menacing presence. Its surface was irregular, jagged, and unlike any comet or asteroid previously cataloged. Sunlight gleamed off edges in strange ways, reflecting like shards of crystal in a void of darkness. Its rotation, slow and deliberate, gave it an eerie, almost sentient quality, as if it were aware of the eyes and instruments fixed upon it. Mission control in Houston became a war room of anticipation. Engineers, astrophysicists, and even planetary defense specialists pored over every detail. Artemis astronauts and robotic mission teams were on alert, cameras and sensors prepped to capture data in unprecedented detail. The world, for once, seemed united by a single cosmic event. Social media exploded, streaming live telescope feeds, equations, and predictions. Memes, theories, and fears coexisted with awe. But scientists knew that this was no internet spectacle. This was a live demonstration of the universe's unpredictable power. Then came the first gravitational analysis. Jupiter's immense pull would bend 3I/Atlas's trajectory, but calculations suggested it would remain intact. No collision, no fragmentation. Yet the way it rotated, slightly adjusting mid-spin, hinted at anomalies no gravitational model could fully explain. Some whispered that it might be hollow or composed of materials unknown to our catalog of elements. Others remained skeptical, insisting it was a natural formation, an interstellar relic older than our solar system itself. I imagined standing in a telescope observatory that night, gazing at the sky as 3I/Atlas slipped past Saturn's rings. The light reflected off icy moons, glinting like a cosmic lighthouse in the darkness. Every observation sent data back to Earth, analyzed in real time. And as I watched, I felt the pulse of the universe itself, silent, indifferent, yet profoundly communicative. This object wasn't just passing by. It was a message, or at the very least, a challenge to everything we believed about space. Scientists began debating whether to launch a probe. The window was narrow, days, maybe hours. Artemis mission planners worked tirelessly, calculating interception trajectories, propulsion adjustments, and communication delays. Every decision was high stakes. Failure could mean the loss of humanity's first close encounter with an interstellar traveler. Yet even as the debates raged, there was excitement. Electric, almost childlike, the thrill of confronting the unknown. Public reaction was a mixture of fear and fascination. News outlets warned of hypothetical impacts, rogue debris, and mysterious alien technology. Meanwhile, educators and enthusiasts used 3I/Atlas as a real-time lesson in physics, orbital mechanics, and the vast scale of interstellar travel. Children across the globe stayed awake past bedtime, pointing telescopes at the sky, hoping to glimpse a visitor from the stars. Humanity, collectively, was reminded of its smallness and its curiosity. By the fourth day, anomalies became harder to ignore. 3I/Atlas seemed to interact subtly with solar radiation, almost as if absorbing it and altering its path slightly. Spectroscopic readings showed unusual fluctuations in reflected light, hinting at a surface unlike any asteroid or comet we'd cataloged. Engineers called it unexplainable, astrophysicists called it baffling, and journalists called it the story of a lifetime. For me, watching it unfold, it felt like witnessing a living shadow glide through the cosmos, untouchable and silent. NASA initiated a live briefing. The message was clear: we are observing something unique in human history. Artemis teams were on standby to deploy probes if necessary. Observatories worldwide were redirected to maximize data capture. The public was urged to remain calm, but excitement and anxiety were palpable. It was as if the universe had thrown open a door and invited humanity to peek inside. Then, the first serious speculation emerged. Could 3I/Atlas be artificial? Some scientists, cautiously, proposed that its unusual shape, rotation, and reflective properties might indicate intelligent design. The claim was controversial, dismissed by some, debated by others, but it added another layer of tension. If true, this would mark humanity's first encounter with a potential artifact from another civilization. The implications were staggering, terrifying, and exhilarating all at once. I found myself thinking about the first astronauts who left Earth orbit, peering down at the blue planet below. They spoke of awe, of fragility, of the profound realization that we are tiny in the vastness of space. Watching 3I/Atlas, I felt that same mix of awe and terror magnified 1,000-fold. The universe was alive with mysteries, and this lone traveler, coming from the deep dark, was a reminder that for every star, planet, and moon we know, there are countless more we cannot even imagine. And as 3I/Atlas edged closer to the inner solar system, something unspoken settled over humanity. We were no longer passive observers. The universe had made itself known. It had tested our readiness, our curiosity, and our courage. And soon, we would discover whether 3I/Atlas was merely a wanderer or something far more extraordinary. The inner solar system was tense. 3I/Atlas now moved past Mars, a silent interloper threading through the planetary orbits. Humanity had never witnessed anything like it. Across the globe, scientists, astronomers, and even space enthusiasts held their breath. Every telescope, every probe, every satellite now focused on this visitor from beyond the stars. NASA had activated its contingency missions. Artemis astronauts observed from lunar orbit, their instruments calibrated to record even the smallest detail. Robotic probes were launched on intercept trajectories, humanity's first attempt to touch an object that had traveled for billions of years across the void. The probe streamed back data in near real time, images, spectrographs, and surface composition analyses. Every piece of information was precious, a breadcrumb in a cosmic mystery stretching across the galaxy. The images were staggering. 3I/Atlas was unlike any asteroid, comet, or fragment we had cataloged. Its surface alternated between icy patches and crystalline structures, glinting like alien glass under the sun's light. It rotated slowly, deliberately, reflecting photons and patterns that made scientists question whether it was naturally formed or intentionally constructed. Some hypothesized it could be a probe or a relic left behind by an ancient civilization, drifting silently for eons. Even with all the technology and all the data, a feeling of vulnerability swept across humanity. For millennia, we had studied the stars safely from below, cataloging comets, asteroids, and planets. But 3I/Atlas was different. It reminded us that the cosmos is vast, indifferent, and capable of revealing truths we aren't fully prepared to understand. In Houston's mission control, I imagine the tension, the quiet moments punctuated by rapid bursts of activity as each probe transmitted crucial data. Conversations were clipped, eyes fixed on monitors, fingers flying over keyboards. One wrong calculation could mean losing this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, or worse, an unknown threat. Yet even amidst the fear, excitement burned brighter. Humanity was witnessing history, and for the first time, the stars seemed closer than ever before. Speculation ran rampant. Was 3I/Atlas simply a relic of another solar system? Could it carry life, organic or otherwise? Or was it a deliberate message, an artifact sent across the galaxy for reasons we could not yet comprehend? The truth remained hidden in its cold, silent surface, teasing and taunting with every orbit, every reflection, every subtle flicker of light. And then, as it neared its closest approach to the sun, the unexpected happened. Small jets of gas erupted from its surface, activity no one had predicted. The interstellar object was alive in a sense, reacting to solar radiation, revealing layers of complexity that made every previous theory pale in comparison. Scientists called it unprecedented. Astronauts described it as breathtaking. And I realized with a shiver of awe that this visitor from beyond was not just passing through. It was teaching us, challenging our assumptions, and expanding the limits of human curiosity. Watching it drift past Earth, just beyond the orbit of Venus, I felt a mixture of relief and wonder. It had not collided, not caused devastation, yet it had left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. Humanity had glimpsed a piece of the galaxy beyond our own, a fragment of the interstellar unknown that reminded us how small, yet how incredibly capable we truly are. 3i/Atlas continued its silent journey, leaving us with questions far greater than answers. Its departure marked not the end, but the beginning of a new era of exploration. For the first time, the universe seemed both terrifying and intimate, a reminder that somewhere in the darkness, countless mysteries await, and we now know we can reach out, observe, and learn. As night fell, I looked up at the stars and felt the same awe astronauts describe from space. The sky was alive again, full of possibility. And for the first time in human history, we had truly touched the edge of the unknown and survived to tell the story.